Okay, so I can't really there was no Nintendo Direct week, sadly, today, besides the ones I talked about, and really there hasn't really been anything new. So yes, we'll be talking about some topics that I probably gone over in the past. We'll be going over them anyways. The character Zeno. A character everybody but the Smash community has basically forgotten about. If you don't know, Zeno was this one character in Super Mario RPG 7 The Legend of Seven Stars that helped you in the game basically, and yeah, he was basically sent out, basically save the world, and yeah, he teams up with Mario, basically to defeat Smithy. And yes, that's basically it. And yes, he was a major proponent in Mario RPG. And Mario RPG isn't really the most remembered of Mario RPGs, and yeah, he had a major presence in that game. He was a playable character. You could put him on your team. Of course, it's optional. The characters of Mario, Peach, Bowser, Mario, and Zeno were playable. He was not really required to be on a team. But again, considering that a lot of people like him according to Smash Bros. And yes, want him in Smash Bros. I think that's the reason why people remember him so much. He was probably used a lot. I bet people probably used all the characters in the game because all the characters in Mario RPG had their own ups and downs. And really, Mario RPG, yeah, don't really, the really, but will we see Zeno again? Will we get a sequel to this game? Because Mario RPG was actually a pretty successful game. Especially, and in Japan, it sold 1 million copies, and it sold like 3 million copies, I think, worldwide. The second game appearance of Zeno was in Mario Luigi Superstar Saga as a doll, as a cameo. He appears as the host of Stat Smash in the arcade game Little Funky Town. Explaining, yeah, he does not appear in the remake, while text bubbles replaces his role. And that was it for Zeno. He was nowhere to be seen. This character that people loved from this game, Mario RPG, he he was mentioned for Smash Bros. Ball, but he didn't follow up, probably for legal reasons why he wasn't put in the game. And then of course Super Mario Bros. Wii U and 3DS, basically. So as a Mii costume, yes, he appeared as a Mii costume. A fitting character of Cloud was owned by Square Enix, who also RPG who owns rights to Zeno. And they also raised the QR code. And then Smash Bros. Ultimate, he appears as a spirit. He is also selectable online for use in online modes. In the Spirit Battle, he is represented by Seek armed with a ray gun. He is joined by Mario, Bowser, Peach, and a Great Kirby, who represents Mallow. The 5 players represent a cast of Mario RPG. And he also appears in the comic. Yep, a comic. Or manga, basically. But yep, Zeno, he hasn't really been seen that much. The only things other than being a playable character, as we found in Forest Base, he only was cameos, basically. He only cameoed in other things. Yes, he appeared in Smash Bros. As a spirit, so at least that Nintendo and Square Enix are willing to put him in the game in some form or another. But considering the fact that they even put him in the remake of Superstar Saga, isn't as he is in Jacksonville Square Enix, no, the end credits and they, regardless of method, the copy of the Carotino was absorbed by Square Enix despite intellectual property, so as in most countries saying that basically belongs to said Eddie, which could be used for the case of Nintendo. But yep, there is probably a reason why Zeno has not appeared in Super Smash Bros. Or any game since. And again, he has appeared in cameos since. If we look at King K. Rool before he was put into Smash Bros., King K. Rool was still owned by Nintendo. I don't know why Nintendo ignored King K. Rool. I get they want to make, the Mario, they want to make new villains of the Donkey Kong universe. But yeah, King K. Rool, if you look at he is the main villain of all of the Donkey Kong Country games. All of them. Until of course, I don't know what happened, but even then he appeared in several games afterwards. After the Donkey Kong series, and yeah, he appeared in various games for the GameCube and DS and Game Boy actually. These are very obscure games like Donkey Kong Battle Blast, But his yeah, he basically appears in games like Super Mario Sluggers, which is actual his artwork that people used before he got and put Smash Bros. That was his artwork from Mario Sluggers. So yeah, King K. Rool actually was more relevant to Nintendo, and actually, yeah, because his last appearance was Mario Sluggers before Smash Bros. Ultimate came out. And yeah, I think that Nintendo is finally realizing that they can use this character, that they actually own this character. The difference between King K. Rool and Zeno is Nintendo actually owns this character. Rare doesn't. Rare may have created the characters, but Nintendo owns the Donkey Kong franchise and the Donkey Kong characters, and all the characters in the Donkey Kong Country series. I think Nintendo's finally starting to realize that in the Donkey Kong Country series, well, they realize, hey, we can use these characters. That Dixie Kong, we can use her, we can use Cranky Kong. I won't be surprised in the next Donkey Kong Country series, we see King K. Rool make a return in some form. And yes, his last appearance was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2 years ago. So maybe in the next Donkey Kong Country you may see King K. Rool again. So yep, that is why we haven't seen Zeno since such a long time. Zeno versus King K. Rool. King K. Rool had a much more bigger role in the Mario franchise, and he hasn't been used since then. But yeah, his latest appearance was in Smash Bros. Appearing as a playable character, unlike Zeno. But yeah, I think the reason why Nintendo didn't put King K. Rool back is because unlike Mario, Nintendo wanted to use different villains for Donkey Kong Country. But they think it's perfectly cool to use new villains for Donkey Kong Country. For example, Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. Returns uses the Tikis, and of course, Tropical Freeze uses, of course, the Seals. And yeah, I think those two villains are very, very unique villains in their own rights. And I think that's part of the reason why King K. Rool was not really seen that much until then. So yep, that's basically it. Goodbye.